I can see the stars align, dance around the moon every night. And now my eyes are open wide, and the sky has never looked so bright. And I don't need to see the road to believe, yeah. 'Cause this is where I'm meant to be, I believe. And I feel the magic everywhere. It's all around us, it's in the air. And I see the magic we can share. So much wonder everywhere. And I feel the magic, can you imagine? And I feel the magic, can you imagine? And I feel the magic, it's all around us. And I feel the magic, it's all around us. There's wonder on this winding road in front of me, yeah. 'Cause I'm right where I'm supposed to be. And I feel the magic everywhere. It's all around us, it's in the air. And I see the magic we can share. So much wonder everywhere. And I feel the magic, can you imagine? And I feel the magic, can you imagine? And I feel the magic, it's all around us. And I feel the
Oh, I was just getting into the rhythm of that. Good evening, Linda Gold. You're nice and early tonight. Welcome. How are you? How are you on this beautiful Monday evening? And to everyone else that is coming in to watch later or has registered, so you'll be in shortly, or catching up with the replay, hello, and I hope you are having a wonderful Monday. We say it's the beginning of the week. The working week, really. And let's see what beautiful energy can be brought through this evening, and also what the messages are for you this evening. And I have a little surprise for you tonight, because Linda, you're holding court presently, meaning that it's you and I here. So you're first up, because when I was getting ready for this evening, it was that we're going to have some fun channeling some personal message. So how cool's that, Linda? You're here first and foremost, so you're going to be first cab off the rank. And then it seems that we will be talking about a lot of things around identity and the heart. So before we get going on those things, sorry, I'm listening as I'm trying to talk to you here. I'm really pleased to say that tomorrow night our subject in the Spiritual School of H.E.A.L, which is Wisdom, Enlightenment and Self-Healing, which is our sanctuary. If you are not a member of the sanctuary, you can join us for the masterclasses of your choice for $27 a class. So you get to sit in on the masterclass that is being offered to the sanctuary, the members of the sanctuary, which is the School of H.E.A.L. And tomorrow night, it is a continuum of last month, because last month was about self-love. And so many people struggle with self-love. Tomorrow night is about self-acceptance. Now, which one comes first? Do we need to have an embodiment of self-acceptance to be able to have an incredible amount of self-love? Or do we need self-love first? Which one do you think is more important? Now, be mindful of the word that's been used there, more important, because these two things intertwine: self-love, self-acceptance. You actually can't have one without the other. So that's where it gets a little bit tricky. So I have people say to me, oh yes, I have no problem. I am in full self-acceptance of me. And yet things that are playing out in their life indicate that there isn't self-love or self-acceptance. There definitely isn't self-acceptance when there is judgment on the size of my hips, the state of my nose, blemishes on my skin. Yes, self-acceptance comes right down to being able to accept yourself, warts and all. If you're one of those people, lucky people has warts. Once upon a time, they were considered a sign of wealth. I don't know who created that, but anyway, that's what it was. Mandy, hello to you, beautiful. So tomorrow night's masterclass is self-acceptance, and we will delve deeply into what that's about. So for the topic tonight to be around matters of the heart and identity, that is really interesting for that to come in as tonight's topic, along with some lovely personal messages. So Mandy, tonight when I was getting ready, I was told that we would be doing some personal messages tonight. So you're going to have some nice channeled message come through. And what I'm going to do is, for Linda and Mandy being first in, I'm going to welcome you to ask a question. So you can ask a question and I will channel the answer for you to that question. Remember how to ask. So you're very welcome to write your question in there while I continue on with what we have coming up. So we do have self-acceptance tomorrow night as the masterclass, and you can join for $27 when you are not a member of the Spiritual School of H.E.A.L, which is Wisdom, Enlightenment and Self-Healing. It is a deep learning spiritual school. And it is also a legacy to a young woman that I knew from the time that she was 8 years of age. And I did her eulogy at her funeral when she was 31. So the Spiritual School of H.E.A.L holds incredible significance, but it is also an amazing place. Mandy has been in the School of H.E.A.L. It is a very deep learning school for you to know more about your soul, more about your real self, how to connect with that part of yourself. So without further ado, while I wait, oh, you're very welcome, Mandy. We'll thank Archangels, and I do feel, Karen McAllister, good evening. I do feel the presence of one very mischievous queen fairy, or fairy queen. I will get into trouble. Fairy queen this evening. So we will probably have some of the mischievousness from her in the messages as well. Karen McAllister, I see you are coming in differently this evening. You have the opportunity tonight to ask a question. When I was preparing for everyone this evening, I was informed that we would be doing some channeling. So you have the floor to ask a question each, and the answer will be channeled for you. When I channel, when it comes to messages, predominantly it is Archangel Gabriel that works through me. Although over the years there have been the presence of other archangels. So tonight, as we okay, that's interesting, Karen. If you registered, I didn't see that you'd registered there, but you should have been able to come straight through once you register. But anyway, you're here, and that's all that matters. So while you're thinking about the question that you would like to ask, I'm going to say to you, I want you to put your hand on your heart when you are thinking about the question, because if it is more of an earthly question that really is coming from your identity, your personality, then it's really not what your soul is wanting to bring to you. And that's the difference between messages that are really important, that are guidance from your soul through the archangels, versus something that is of an earthly, so perceived problem, right? So those of you who know me very well know that I work on a very high level. So I don't deal in the everyday sort of human kind of stuff, you know, the things that we think are a major problem. Let's see what Mandy's got here about my Cooper tonight. Okay, Mandy, well, you've put that out there and you sit with that, but I will also ask what's going on there. I can see something already. We're going to talk about the heart and your identity. When you are working through your life, believing that you are who you identify as, and I'm not talking the topic of identity the way that it has been put forward in the last few years. I am talking about who you perceive yourself to be, who you identify yourself as a human being. I'm not talking about gender. And by the way, that is not the correct word. I am not talking about sex, the sex of you. I am talking about the identity of personality that you live as and believe yourself to be that. And then the heart. So what has the heart to do with your perceived or your personality, the way you perceive your personality? It has a lot to do with it. When you are living through an identity as the personality, and it is driven by lack of connection to the heart, connection to the soul, then that part of you that is often referred to as the ego, that part of you that is very earthbound, has control. And what you find when you are living through that kind of identity, that personality, you run into many, many struggles. And you find it very difficult to have fulfilling relationships, fulfilling purpose, fulfilling ways in your life, even down to small things of finding that you often seem to have some sort of cold, some sort of bloating, some sort of irritable bowel, some sort of skin problem. Yes, these are all related to there not being a really strong foundation and fundamental connection to the heart and the soul. And these are all signs that you are being carried away by the personality that you believe yourself to be. I had an amazing conversation with a friend yesterday. We went to a fair here in Perth, and she was talking about what we look like when we leave this physical body. And we were both saying how much we are not there. Obviously, we're not there. We've left the physical body. But what we mean, what we were talking about, is the difference in the physical appearance. And the difference, of course, is that the divine spark that you are has left. So the life force has left. Along with that, the personality has left. Now, which one of those aspects is bringing the imagery of you forward? Is it really your divine spark that is being felt and seen, or is it the personality that is created? You are framed. Your personality, your belief in who you are is framed from very early. So which of these two facets of you is the one that is really shining the most? The easier way to know is to know what kind of problems, what kind of struggles you are having in your daily life, in your relationships. All of that is a good indication of which one is really driving the boat. Is it the personality or is it the soul? There was a second question there from Mandy. So when we leave this physical body, and it is essentially what is called death, somebody has died, most often that element of who we have believed that person to be and how we've believed them to look is gone. Have you ever gone in to view someone who has passed and thought, well, that doesn't even look like them? And people think that it is because they're not awake. And I'm not using that word the way it's been used recently. I am using that word as they're not awake, like sleep awake, that kind of awake. Hi, Twinkle, how are you? Glad to see you here tonight. And yeah, heart and identity. It's a pretty powerful talk. And also, my beautiful Twinkle 33, you have the invitation this evening to be able to ask a question and about what's something that you would like to know about, and you're going to receive channeled guidance for your question. So have a real sit in your heart, a real think about what you would like to ask, and then pop it into the chat and I will channel the answer for you. Okay, so it's a bit special, isn't it? So the identity of us versus the heart. So our heart carries our wisdom, our heart carries the emotion, so we are told. The heart itself, if I talk about the physical heart, we have 4 chambers in the heart. We have the aorta, we have the vena cava, we have all the major arteries. The heart itself is quite an incredible organ, and it's very muscular. And of course, as we know, it beats to push blood around, and it has different waves and different peaks according to how the electrocardio messages are going through, because it is driven by energy called electrical responses or electrical energy. We are, after all, a being of energy. Now, on the greater scale of things, the heart energy, the greater heart energy, is 15 feet. It goes out around you in a space of 15 feet. Did you know that? So if you were to be sitting in a cardiologist's waiting room and you imagine that you're surrounded in that room, everyone that's sitting there is waiting to go in and see the cardiologist. You are all sitting in each other's heart energy. Now, if you are in a cardiologist waiting room, you're obviously there because you're having difficulties with your heart in one way or another. So imagine what kind of soup bowl you're sitting in when you sit with other people that are experiencing issues with the impulses, with the electrical status of their heart. 15 feet. So when you go into a room, when you go into a shopping center, when you are anywhere, the energy field of your heart gets there long before anything of you. So whatever you are holding in your heart as an identity disturbs the flow of that energy. So if I'm carrying in my heart a lack of self-acceptance, a lack of self-love, if I am really struggling in my life and I'm in overwhelm, I'm in worry, I'm in grief, I'm in sorrow, I'm in resentment, anger, anything, then all of that is being fielded out in my energy field of my heart, and everybody else gets to experience it. However, if I were to be centered in my heart and know the real me, which is pure love, pure joy, and I was able to sit in that place each day before I went out into the world, what difference would there be in that 15 feet of energy? And if I had gone out somewhere and there was some kind of altercation with other people, funny altercations happen in car parks, they happen in doctors' waiting rooms, they happen in hospitals, courtrooms. Imagine if I was to walk into any of those places and I'm carrying in my heart energy only that which is from what I was derived, being pure love, pure joy, what difference would that make 15 feet around me, front all around me, to everyone that I encountered in every place I went? That's like, here comes Queen Fairy. That's like what fairy tales are made of, right? Because for the majority of people, that's not what is carried in their heart. What is carried in their heart is the burden of the personality. What is carried in their heart is the burden of the identity that they identify with. What are they identifying with? Struggle, pain, difficulties, illness, sickness, lack, not having enough, not being worthy enough, don't know who they are, coming out of violent or aggressive or difficult relationships, recovering from those things, recovering from grief, recovering from some sort of loss. Loss is not always through something or someone dying. Loss can be through losing a job. Loss can be losing a vehicle because you couldn't pay for it anymore. Loss is anything that we are attached to and that we identify with as being important in our life. So identity, who you identify as, the kind of personality you identify yourself as, is often at loggerheads with the heart, and therefore at loggerheads with the soul. How do we know? Well, you'll know through the amount of struggle, difficulty that you have in your life. And you will know by the number of people that you hang around with, that you are consistently with, who are in difficulty, pain, struggle. Because whatever is being carried in your heart field will attract those people, will attract that same level of identity. This is really difficult, and it makes life very difficult. So when you have a look at the personality that you identify with, what are some of the beautiful parts that you really do love about that identity, that personality identity of you? What are some of the things that you really love and that you are very solid in, like that you don't give up in, you don't just let go of because of what other people might think or other people want you to be a certain way? This is the difference between the identity personality and the heart. The identity, the personality identity, gives over easy, compromises all the time, looks for acceptance from other people, looks for love externally because it believes that receiving love externally validates itself and makes it worthwhile, gives itself a sense of worthiness. When in fact, when you are in the heart and really embodied and aligned with the heart, there is no giving away of anything. And there is no need to have that kind of compromising in anywhere in your life. When we have loss, which is a natural part of this life, because nothing here is forever. Everything here must change, and everything here has a cycle of life. That is the way this world must be. So being attached and wanting to identify ourselves by an attachment to a personality removes you from the incredible power that is in your heart, and it removes you from an ability to really experience true joy and love. I'm just going to see what Mandy's read here. So, hand on heart, I'm going to leave it to Spirit to bring forth what it is that I need to hear right now for my highest. I'm going to say, Mandy, that's cheating. We'll let you get away with it, maybe. See what they have to say. But I do like that. It's very nice that that you have welcomed Spirit to simply give you some guidance on something. It's unusual for them to open the floor to you, for not just to you but to everyone, for a question to be asked. One thing, to digress a little moment while you're thinking about you're taking on the personality versus the heart, is a lady that I don't think I told you about this, but a lady that I read for recently, when we were finished, she said, oh, by the way, I got my house. And now I don't have recall of your messages because I am a full channel and a pure channel, and don't retain. I would go mad if I did your information. It's also a little bit, I call it like the privacy. It's a privacy thing. So she said, by the way, I have my house. And I'm like, well, that's nice. And she said, oh, when I saw you last year, you said that I would be given a house and that I wasn't to worry about how that was going to happen because the people that would give me a house could afford to. And she said, I left here going, oh, I don't know what she means by good stuff, Karen. I don't know what she means by people could afford, and they can do that, and someone's going to give me a house. She said, so I just want to let you know that I've got my house, and yes, the people gave it to me, and yes, they can afford to give it to me. And the house looks just like what Spirit or Archangel Gabriel explained to her. So we have, the reason I raise that is we have Mandy here saying she's going to leave it to Spirit to bring forward a message that is of her highest good for right now and what she needs to hear. Quite often, you see, I don't normally ask questions, and you don't get to ask questions. I don't work that way. So for this lady to tell me about a house that was given to her, and her to say that when it came through in her message, she just wanted to question it, and she has been coming to me for a long time, so she knew better, but she said there was a part of me that just kept going, how can that be? And then she said, I heard you in my mind say, why are you asking? Mandy will relate to that. Why are you asking? Why are you not believing? So she has her house. It was given to her. You know, through my years of being a reader, being a channel, I have seen, heard the most amazing things when people come back to tell me about what went on. Now, for some people who may watch this after, and I say what I'm going to say now, they'll have a pink fit, and if they decide to turn off going, oh my God, she's not allowed to do that, then I'm going to say, well, it's too bad you didn't stay to listen to the whole conversation. And this is another failure. Oh, Michelle, hello. Welcome. So, sorry, I'm just looking into Michelle. Hello, Samantha, and welcome. Welcome here tonight. So being, the channel, and I was going to say, some people will freak out when I say this, but if they wait to hear the whole thing, they'll understand. A man came to me a long time ago, and he was very scared, which always entertains me. Very scared. He was shaking. He was so nervous. And I thought, I wonder why he's come when he is so very scared. Anyway, we completed the session, and then he came back some months, whatever it was, later. And he said, I just want to tell you that what you told me when I saw you the first time helped me so much when my brother passed. And I said, I'm sorry, what? And he said, you told me when I was here last time that my brother was going to pass away. And I was horrified. I said, pardon me, what? And he said, oh no, it was wonderful. You explained how he was going to pass and why. And he said it just made such a difference. And I managed through everything the way that came through, that helped me so much. And for me, I was mortified. I'm like, oh my gosh. That is, like I say, there will be people watching this that'll freak out and go, oh, they're not allowed to do that. They're not allowed to talk about someone dying and all the rest of it. Whatever. Just keep walking on if that's you, you know. Just keep walking on because you have little understanding. I know that there are readers who do break universal law. I know there are readers who are charlatans and all the rest of it. So this man was able to tell me all about it, and then his brother appeared. And it was so deeply healing for both of them. And this gentleman told me that if he had not known what had come through for him in his first reading, he says he would never have coped. He would have blamed himself. He would have been an absolute mess for himself. And it was because of what was delivered. And I asked him about the way it was delivered, and he said it was just beautiful. Hi, Tanya. Welcome. So messages that come through from divine messengers that come through me to you, it's only ever when the personality of you gets in the way that things don't work out. And that applies to your life. So for Samantha, Michelle, and Tanya, the topic this evening was the heart versus the identity you believe yourself to be, the identity that you play out as in this lifetime, being your personality. The identity is who you believe yourself to be, the kind of person you believe yourself to be, versus the heart, your real heart that carries pure love, pure joy. And earlier on, we were talking about the energy field of the heart is 15 feet. Don't ask me what that is in meters. It's a long way. It's 15 feet all around you. And whatever you are carrying in that energy field, if it is the personality that you identify as, then it is a falseness. And that field is interacting with everybody that you come into contact with 15 feet around you. So long before you get there, that whatever is carried in there is reaching people that far away. That means you are having an impact on their energy fields. Now, what kind of impact would you like to have on people's energy fields and on other people's hearts? When you are not a personality, you do not identify yourself as this false personality that has been created through lived experiences, through expectations, through resentments, through not letting go, through not being able to align with your soul, then we have a life that is messed up with pain and loss and everything that you would say you don't want. And people say, oh, I do want. So it's really important to get to know how to be aligned with that pure love and pure joy that you came from and that is carried in the essence of you, so that you are not carried away by the illusionary self, which is the personality. Imagine what you would look like when you have passed from this world. Imagine what your physical self would look like if you had been living aligned with your heart, therefore your soul. I asked the question earlier, has anybody been in to view a loved one that has left this world? And what did you notice? Or were you too aggrieved to notice? You see, when my grandmother, my dad's mum, who was everything to me, when she passed, I couldn't go in and see her. I just couldn't. I went and saw my dad. Now, I was with my dad only a matter of hours after he had passed. However, his eyes were still open and there was still a light in his eyes, a beautiful light. But once my son and myself had stood beside him, held him and kissed him, his eyes closed. And as they closed, there was no light anymore. He was gone. So he'd waited for us to arrive. When I went to see him in the viewing, it broke my heart. He did not look like my dad. He did not look like that same beautiful man that we had held and kissed at the hospital bed. And after that, I said, I am not going to go and see anyone again. So when it was my grandmother, whom I adored, everyone was saying to me, but you were so close to Gran. Why aren't you going in to see her? I said, I just can't. I did not want that memory of a face I did not recognize. I did not want that to be my last memory, etched on my memory of my Gran. She was a beautiful looking lady, and she was a lady who lived by her heart and knew her heart. She never had a bad word to say about anyone. She never complained. She went to church every Sunday. She did the church fates, but she was a beautiful person. And her eldest, her eldest daughter has just turned 89, and she is similar to Gran. And you can see it. My auntie, the one that is 89, she has an incredible relationship with Jesus, and she is God, but she will talk about Jesus a lot. She writes, she brings through amazing prayers from him, and you can see it in her face. But why can you see it? Because that is her real self. That is her heart. The beautiful purity of her heart, which is quite different to the personality. So when you think about how you identify yourself and you think about the ways that you talk about yourself, is it with beautiful, pure love and joy, or do you berate yourself? Are you critical? Do you complain? Is something hurting again? Is things not going right in your life again? So let's have a look. Oh, you haven't, Mandy. Oh my gosh, you are a very fortunate person, and far and few between, very much so. Tanya, Michelle, and Samantha, you have an opportunity tonight to ask a question on something you would like to know, and you will have the answer channeled for you. Now, Twinkle, I haven't seen a question from you. Karen McAllister, Linda Gold. You were first up, Linda, and I'm yet to see your questions. If you don't want to ask a question, you certainly don't have to, but this is an unusual invitation, an unusual opportunity. I would make the most of it if I was you. Oh, Tanya, that is just beautiful. Oh, I'm so very happy for the two of you. That is really lovely. What a very special visit that was, Tanya. Very special. So, Tanya, Samantha, Michelle, Karen, you can all ask a question if you would like to, if you'd like some guidance on something. And while you're thinking about that, I will talk again about tomorrow night in the Spiritual School of H.E.A.L, Wisdom, Enlightenment, Self-Healing. We have got a masterclass and Mandy and Michelle will tell me if I've got it wrong. But I do believe tomorrow night is the first Tuesday of the month. So we have a masterclass on self-acceptance. Those of you who are not members of the Spiritual School of H.E.A.L, you are welcome to join the masterclass for $27. You have only but to request the link and you can join that masterclass. So you would email support@healwithgwenda.com and say that you would like to join the masterclass, and we will send you the link for you to do that. Okay, well, in that case, Twinkle, I'm just going to ask you to focus on it. Focus on what it is you're thinking about, and I'm just going to let them channel through and see what comes through for you. And Linda's got the same thing. Not sure how to word it. I'll do the same thing. A question, anything that you would like some guidance on, Tanya? So something that you might like guidance on. Okay. I actually like these answers, people, to be honest with you. As I said, normally I don't ask questions and I don't have you ask questions. We simply have spirit come through and give you the guidance. So that's beautiful, Mandy, and they will be most grateful for that too. Okay, let me just settle into each of you and see what comes through. So, Linda Gold, would you like me to see what Spirit has to say for you, or would you rather pass? I don't mind. It's totally up to you. As I say, this is an unusual opportunity, but if you would rather pass, you can choose to do that. So while Linda is thinking and answering me, next was Mandy. And then Karen. So Mandy, they show me books open around the place and that you're getting frustrated and feeling like this isn't working out the way that I wanted it to work out. It's not really what I thought it was going to be, and now I don't know whether this is what I want to do. So this is what they're showing me, these books around and confusion around the books, Mandy Young. And they're saying that you need to fold them all up, put them aside for a little while because you are coming up to crossroads. And when you're in crossroads, it's not a time to make decisions. So far, the books have made the books have been of service. The information has been of service for you, but it is going to be time to take a break. So you might want to be taking some kind of sabbatical from whatever those books are about and letting yourself really enjoy life again. And that is your key message here, Mandy. You are being asked to really enjoy life again. So shelve all of these things that you've been striving and that you've been feeling you've got to study, that you've got to do. It's not working for you. You're not actually retaining a lot of the information. So it's time for you to just put them up, let them gather some dust, and most importantly, do things that bring you a lot of joy and let yourself enjoy life. It's been too long. Karen McAllister. For Karen, asking that you do things that are going to bring a lot of healing, a lot of peace, and a lot of calm to the central nervous system of your physical body. Looking at the nerve endings throughout your body is like looking at very frayed wires and a lot of exhaustion through the central nervous system. So it's time for you, and it's funny we're talking about love tonight, it is time for you to give yourself some time that is very much around nurturing yourself and particularly nurturing your central nervous system. You are also to let go of something, waiting for an apology, waiting for a change of attitude. there is a person from your past, Karen, that you really want them to acknowledge that they did the wrong thing and just say to you they did the wrong thing. It's equivalent to an apology. Let it go. Let it go. It is going to come, and it will come in the most unexpected way to you. It will not be in the near future. It will be some time in the future, but for now you need to let it go and heal your central nervous system. Twinkle, resting time. Resting time. This is a beautiful time for you, Twinkle 33. This is a beautiful time for you to be able to sit back and really just observe everything that has been going on around you, and know that you are right now in the right place, the right time of where you're meant to be. This is a lovely time for you to be able to simply bring things in and clear them. So it's like watching you throw a net out, bring it in, and it's only going to have in it what you need right now. This is a really important time for you. It's like looking at you gather everything that is most appropriate for you and suited at this time. It's also a time for you to filter out all of that which no longer suits you. That includes clothes, things around the house, people, friendships. This is a time of shedding as well as bringing in new and wonderful things. There is a beautiful new opportunity coming for you in August of this year, and it will come through a most surprising way, an invitation. It's going to open a magical door for you when it comes to your life path. Now, please remember, everyone, that a life path does not mean that it is going to last for the entirety of your life. When we refer to a life path, it can simply mean a path that goes this way for this long and then it's finished. Michelle, too much indecision around your son that you're hoping to be able to see for Christmas. However, there is a surprise visit. And if we were to tell you when it is, it wouldn't be a surprise. So there is a change coming for that particular son, and it is going to see him feeling a lot more settled in his place of life. There's a reason why he is where he is, and there is a reason why you don't see so much of him, or it feels like he doesn't make himself available to be seen. You will be seeing him, Michelle. We will reserve the timeline on that because of where he is sitting in the way that he's making decisions presently. Keep sending the love. Keep sending the love, Michelle. He's waiting for something to be known to do with his father. Could be waiting a long time. Samantha, if you're still here, Samantha, patience. They show things around you, Samantha, as if being crocheted, and once upon a time people crocheted on their fingers, and it is like watching you crochet life around you as if you are tapping your fingers waiting for things to happen. Things are not going to just happen around you, Samantha. You need to move away from this way of looking for things to come to you in your life, not just a matter of crocheting them around the hand, which is like seeing you weave a web around your hands and tapping your fingers, waiting for things to come. It's time for you to put all of that down. Procrastination, Samantha. So it's time for you to actually make some choices. make one choice for a week and act on it, because presently it's like looking at a mad woman's breakfast where everything is everywhere and you're not able to really feel that you are getting anywhere, hence why we see you tapping your fingers, getting a little bit frustrated with the way things are around you. There's also a relationship around you, Samantha, that's coming to a close, and that's going to be a good thing. It is going to open up a lot more freedom for you in your heart and in your life. Let bygones be bygones and move right along from that relationship. Tanya Atkins, your dad, what a beautiful character. However, you have got a grandmother that has stepped in beside you this evening, and it's her that wishes to be able to give you her message. And she says for you not to be worrying so much about another family member, female family member. And I'm sorry, she's not making it clear, but she says that you are putting too much time and effort to someone who really isn't appreciating the time and effort that you are offering. And it would be better for you to step back a little bit and just let them start to make their own decisions and let them make their own mistakes. Sometimes people have to fall over their own feet for life to start to sort out for them. Sometimes you have got too much intent in your heart to help others and help them too much. You need to draw back a little bit and let them fall over themselves and pick themselves up, Tanya, rather than you being the one who picks up and you being the one who looks after, finds what's going on here. That's your grandmother from your mother's side. From your mother's side of the family, by the way. Catch Mini 95. Astral travel, that's not something that we can do on this particular show. That's something that needs to be taught to you. And you can astral travel by learning how to connect with your guides and asking them to help you journey through the night and take you out and bring you back safely. But it is something that you need to learn the basics of and be able to learn how to connect with your guides and also your higher self. There are practices available in the Spiritual School of H.E.A.L that can help you with that. And thank you for being here this evening. You're very welcome, Mandy. Lovely, Twinkle. You are seeking different paths, Twinkle 33, and that's what they're talking about with you sitting back and observing and then making your choices of moving forward. Yes, Linda God, there'll always be a message for you, my sweet. So for yourself, Linda, there is feet. You've got feet here and issues with circulation, going around in circles. This is not you, Linda. This is someone else close to you. And again, you're someone too who is trying to help others and help them see their way through. In this case, it's better for you to get off the roundabout and let it go around in circles until it's exhausted itself, and then you'll be able to help better with this person. For yourself, Linda, over these next 3 months, you need to be a little bit more cautious with your finances, even down to looking at whether or not you're going to buy something as simple as something that costs $5. Really start to look at whether or not it's something that's going to add to quality of your life, and is it something that is really necessary. So for the next 3 months, Linda, your finances will be your focus, and the way that you're going to make your way through and improve finances is to be a lot more discerning and a lot more careful with your selection of what you're spending even $2 on. So say, for example, there is a table with raffle tickets on it, and it's only $2 a ticket. It is a gamble, and we are saying to you that at this time, we prefer that you do not gamble anything, and consider that $2 be put away, even if you were to hold a purse that you put only $2 coins into. So every time that there's something that seems to be not very much, it needs to be looked at and go, is this something that can really make a difference to my life? Is this something that is going to be necessary for me at the moment? So your finances are the key thing for you over the next 3 months, Linda Gold. Oh, Tanya, that's you need to, this is a little bit of a challenge for you. You need to really sit in your heart. Even though your father left the majority of his will to you, this is an opportunity for you to show just how much of a caring heart you have, and where you can offer some sort of support, whether it is financial or whether it is by material gift, something that's going to make a difference. This is an opportunity for you to be able to be charitable, apparently something that is needed for you to work on presently. Lately I've been contemplating the center of myself. Good stuff, Karen, good stuff. You're welcome, Michelle. You're welcome, Samantha. Lovely to have you with us tonight. Yep, it's always beautiful when they are on point as usual. Thanks, Twinkle. And even though for some of you might think, gee, that sounds really kind of messy and out there, usually when they're speaking to the soul is well aware of what the message is about, and it's not as messy and convoluted as what it seems. It's only when we get the mind in the way that it becomes a problem. So look at that. Here we are. We have come to the end of this week's show, and I thank you all very much for being here. Oh my gosh, look at that. My pleasure. Sending much love back to you, Twinkle, and to everyone. Thank you all very much. It's been fabulous. And Samantha, that's beautiful. Yes, crocheting, and you think of her a lot. Beautiful person. That is really lovely. Well, everyone, you have a blessed week, a most enjoyable week. And remember, if you would like to join us for the masterclass tomorrow evening, please just drop us a line at support@healwithgwenda.com, and you can join us for that masterclass on self-acceptance. Have yourselves a beautiful week, and I'll look forward to seeing you again next week, unless I see you tomorrow night. You're most welcome, Tanya, Karen, Michelle, everybody. Much love to you all. Good night.